Super Bowl preview. This week's Chiefs versus Saints game is highly anticipated, especially with the return of all-time great quarterback Drew Brees. But who will win this game? Let's look at the keys to victory on Mike's Game of the Week right after this intro.
It's Phil Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster. Mike on the mic with sports talk that matters. Reppin' for the West, see the palms in the logo. Mike on the mic, sports pod, let's go.
I gave you fair warning, beware.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Mike on the Mic Sports Podcast once again on this beautiful Saturday morning. By the time I get this out, it might be Saturday afternoon for you, or if you're on the East Coast, it might be Saturday afternoon for you. On today's show, we're just going to go over Mike's Game of the Week, which is the Chiefs versus the Saints in what could be a Super Bowl preview, as I alluded to in the intro. And then we're also going to go over our quick picks, as I call it, and we're just going to go through unscripted. I'm actually going to do this really quick. There's no notes, nothing like that. Just go through the games, my first reaction, who I got winning each game in the quick picks. So let's get straight into it right now. Starting off with the New Orleans Saints and their injury report. And there's a big name on it. Michael Thomas, star wide receiver, a guy who has been going off every season. We've seen him struggle this year, but he's still a big deal to this offense, especially with Drew Brees coming back. Drew Brees' security blanket. Mike Thomas is out for this game. He's not even questionable or doubtful. A center/guard, Nick Easton, I believe he is doubtful to play in this game. That's a big deal. An extra lineman right there for you. Defensive tackle Malcolm Brown, who shores up the middle of the field, is out. Don't expect it to affect too much because the Chiefs like to attack on the edges and down the field, but it hurts with getting to Patrick Mahomes in a timely manner without having to send, 6 people after him. And then also the final person on this injury report is wide receiver Deontay Harris, who's kind of like their little gadget player, kind of like their Ray McCloud. He's questionable to play. I think he is going to play, but we will see. I think he's a game-time decision. So there's your injury report for the Saints, guys that could be missing. But the big one is that Drew Brees isn't on the report, and Drew Brees is for sure playing in this game. So it'll be exciting to see his return to the field. The NFL is just better off with guys like him on the field, just knowing his star value and his quality level of play. So let's look at some keys to victory, offensive and defensive keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints in this game, Mike's Game of the Week. Keys to Victory is brought to you by Friday Night Wars. This is the hottest sports debate show on YouTube right now, featuring myself and Joe Morley Sports. If you guys want to go see us go back and forth and all the shenanigans that goes down on Friday Night Wars, it's very entertaining. It's a WWE style back and forth sports debate show. If you guys want to go check it out, the link will be in the description to that channel. So please go check it out. We're started up a couple months ago, but we're really hitting our stride, and you guys really enjoy these episodes. So definitely go check it out. Anyways, again, Keys to Victory brought to you by Friday Night Wars. Offensive keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints. The Chiefs' defense is one that thrives on opportunity and is very much a bend-do-not-break style of defense. They're not going to run up the stats. They're not, top 10 in run stop, not top 10 in pass stop. But if you go and look at the points scored against them, they are top 10. So the Chiefs' defense thrives on bending and not breaking and opportunity as far as creating turnovers for that offense to get an extra possession or two each game. The Saints' offense needs to go in this game ready for that. They need to know that as long as they control time possession, as long as they keep the ball in their hands and do not commit costly mistakes and set themselves up for failure, this Chiefs defense is very drivable on. It's very beatable. It's not elite by any means, but they do play well in the right situations, and it seems like they always just come up with the play that the Chiefs need them to come up with when the time comes. Especially with Michael Thomas out, the Saints need to cap off these drives with touchdowns, and that's the biggest key to me. That's the game's breaking point right there for the Saints, if you will. They need to cap off these drives with touchdowns because this Chiefs defense is okay with you driving on them as long as they can hold you to that field goal or try and force you to go for it on 4th and 1 and get out of trouble at the last possible second and returning the ball to Patrick Mahomes and that deadly offense. No matter how good the Saints defense is, this game is going to come down to, can the Saints cap these drives off with touchdowns with Drew Brees coming back and with Michael Thomas out? Usually, when your quarterback is coming back from injury like this, especially especially a severe injury. I mean, I believe Drew Brees is coming back weeks early. You think that it'd be a tad bit concerning, and especially probably the biggest game of the season for the Saints right now if they want to stay in this 1-seed picture. But Brees is experienced, and Drew Brees has done this time and time again, coming back from injury and getting back to an elite level very quickly. I think that he will return to his level of football in a quarter or two of football. The question is, will it be too late by then? We do not know how long it's going to take Brees to get back into that midseason form that he was in when he went out. Look to see a lot of 41 in this game. The gold-grilled superstar Alvin Kamara knows his role is going to be larger than usual, and it's already a large role in this offense, and I just know he is hungry and ready to hit the field tomorrow. He's going to have a big day tomorrow, so you fantasy owners, congratulations, right? I think Alvin Kamara is going to get a lot of touches just because Drew Brees' injury and Michael Thomas is out. They like to go short, they like to get him in space, and they like to give him chances to make plays after the catch. So there you go. That's the keys to victory for the offense when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. Defensive keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints defense. This Kansas City offense is damn near unstoppable. It's one of the best offenses I think we've ever seen in football, with the speed of Tyreek Hill and the eliteness of Travis Kelce, all paired with the best quarterback in football right now, Patrick Mahomes, leading the charge. This offense is pretty unstoppable. So for the Saints, they have to look to slow them down. At the best that they can do, just slow them down, maybe cause one or two mistakes, and capitalize off it on offense. The Saints have the tools. They really do have the tools to do some damage against this offense. The pass rush is better than your average bear. The New Orleans Saints have a very good cornerback to line up opposite of Tyreek Hill as well. I don't think Lattimore is going to completely shut Tyreek down, but he definitely can slow Tyreek at the line. He can keep Tyreek from getting downfield before the pass rush can get to Patty Mahomes. At the end of the day, the goal is 28. The big number for the Saints is 28, 24, anything in that range. Anytime you hold an offense this great, and this specific great offense, to 28 or less, your offense should find success and hopefully win this game, especially when you have Drew Brees and company at the helm. The question is, can this Saints defense get to Patrick Mahomes before Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce create separation downfield? That's what the game is, man. That's what the game is every week, facing the Chiefs, and we haven't really seen anyone that can do it yet. I know the Raiders beat the Chiefs, but they just straight out went out and outshot them out. That was it. They did not stop the offense by any means. They went out, got in a shootout, and won the shootout, and the Saints might want to try and get into that battle, but in 12 out of 13 cases this year, that battle has been won by the Kansas City Chiefs. You have to get to Patrick Mahomes before these guys get separation downfield, and that's the keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints. Let's move into the Chiefs, starting with the injury report. Looking at the Chiefs injury report, they're going to be missing a lineman, Mike Remmers. He's doubtful. I don't think he's going to play. Eric Fisher is playing in this game. He's listed as questionable, but I believe he is playing. That is a huge deal going against this Saints defensive line, which has been thriving in the last couple of weeks. Damian Wilson is out, and Darwin Thompson is out. Those aren't too impactful to the Chiefs' success. I mean, you would like to have Darwin Thompson, but you don't. So it's okay. Not too bad. Looking at the Chiefs injury report, they're going to be at pretty much full strength, especially with Eric Fisher coming back. That's a big deal for them. Keys to victory, again, brought to you by Friday Night Wars for the Kansas City Chiefs. Looking at the offensive keys here, the Chiefs need to, of course, get those one-on-one situations for their big playmakers. I look to see the Chiefs run a bit more than usual in the early stages of the game, just knowing the strength of their opponent, trying to bring the defense up. They're really going to be dramatic about it. I think they really are going to run the ball on those first couple drives. Even if they result in punts, I think they're going to be okay with that as long as it brings that Saints defense up to try and stop the run and stop the short underneath routes. Then I look for them to really open up the offense down the field once they can get these guys up, because the Saints defense is no slouch. They're not just going to come out and start dominating from the get-go. They have to come out and they have to have a game plan in this game. Unlike other weeks where you can just go out and be like, hey, we're just way faster than you. This week, they do need to come out and play a good football game to beat this Saints defense. It is going to be the battle of the game. We know the Saints are going to be efficient on offense with Drew Brees coming back. The determination of this game, whether win or loss for either side, will weigh on the Kansas City offense and New Orleans Saints defense ability to slow this offense. This is a real test for both sides to see how far they will go as Super Bowl contenders on offense and defense for the Chiefs and Saints. So there you go. That's the offensive keys. Let's look at some defensive keys. The Saints are going to feed Alvin Kamara. I'm very confident in that choice. Play Alvin Kamara in all of your lineups this week if you got him. Especially with Brees coming back and Michael Thomas officially scratched, the Chiefs need to go back to square one. Make rally tackles. Limit the bleeding when he gets the ball in open space. Make Drew Brees work. Test his mobility. That's the keys here. Get the ball out of Alvin Kamara's hands and get it back in Brees' hands. Coming back from injury way too early. I mean, not way too early. I'm sure he's healthy enough to play or he wouldn't be playing. But he's coming back way earlier than the average human would be coming back. The Chiefs need to fly around on defense. Play aggressive. That great offense will have your back. Mahomes and company will have your back. This Chief defense needs to create takeaways either early on in this game or at least in the key moments of this game. Make one or two game-changing plays and let Patty do the rest, and the Kansas City Chiefs will find success. Kansas City's defense has to feed off of the chaos. They need to create chaos and feed off of that chaos, and that's something that I know Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, thrives in an environment like that. So that's the defensive and offensive keys for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. Now let's get into the overall prediction. Okay, so for the overall prediction, the Saints are going to be on a mission to show that they belong in this Super Bowl picture despite the loss to Philly last week. Just unfortunately for them, after dropping that game to Philly, they have to see the best team in the league the very next week. On a week where Drew Brees is coming back, and it's his first game back. On a week where Michael Thomas is out, and you're going to be missing him, and you're going to be missing some key defensive pieces. All of these signs point towards a Kansas City Chiefs victory, but I think that the Saints are going to play them tough. The difference is going to be those key players being missing. If this is a Super Bowl preview, it's going to be a great game. I'm going to go ahead and make the prediction. I'm going to say Chiefs win 28-24 over the Saints in a great game. This also may seal the 1 seeds for Kansas City and seal the 1 seed for Green Bay in the NFC if they can win this week. So that's kind of my take on the game of the week this week, Mike's game of the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Drop a like if you agree with me. Drop a comment if you disagree with me. Let me know your prediction for this Chiefs-Saints matchup. It's going to be a good one. All right, let's get into these quick picks real quick. I had them pulled up in the background. Just going to go over them really quick. A couple words, a couple sentences for each game, and then move on to the next. I said I was going to do quick picks last time, and it took 30 minutes. This is not going to take 30 minutes. Let's get into it right now. Starting off with Saturday's games. Get to watch some Saturday football today. This video probably will not be out by the time this game starts, but I did predict it before the game started. It is currently 11:20 a.m. This game starts in a couple hours. Buffalo versus Denver. The Bills are a much better team right now. The Broncos are playing extremely hard, so I think this game is close, but give me the Bills over the Broncos. Looking at Carolina and Green Bay, I think Green Bay shouldn't have too many issues with Carolina, so give me the Green Bay Packers, and this helps them out in solidifying their chance at getting that 1 seed in these last couple games. Moving on, we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is a tough game between two teams that kind of need to win these games if they want to stay in the wild card picture. I think San Fran's kind of out of it officially. Dallas is still playing for something, but Dallas just isn't very good. I'm going to take San Fran to go into Dallas and beat them with a good game. San Francisco is playing with a lot of heart this year, and Dallas is playing with no heart this year. So that combination leads to me to say, okay, let's take San Francisco. Like I said, this is unscripted, no notes. First reaction, second I see the game, I'm picking it. I don't even know all the games this week, right? No thoughts about it, just my first thought, called Quick Picks. We're going to do this every week for the rest of the season. Then when we get into the playoffs, we'll break down every single game. Seattle going to Washington. This could be a trap game. They're traveling to Washington to play a red-hot Washington football team. Seattle's the better team, and they should win this game. But hey, anything can happen, and Washington could pull this off. I wouldn't be too opposed to taking Washington versus the spread. I'm sure it's around 7, 4, 5, somewhere around there. I think this game is going to be super tight with Seattle barely pulling it out, so give me the Seahawks in a very close game, in a game that Washington could win, but I'm going to take Seattle. I think they need to get it together. They know they need to get it together, and they're going to get it together in this last couple games of the season. Next up, we got Chicago traveling to Minnesota to play the Minnesota Vikings. This is a good game. Every time these two teams play, they have the same record this year. They're both trying to win out and get into this playoff picture. The fact that Chicago's traveling to Minnesota, the fact that Minnesota's been playing good here in the second half of the season, and Chicago's still trying to find their way. The fact that I don't think Matt Nagy fully believes in Trubisky. I don't think that Trubisky has that job back by any means for the coming seasons. I think there's a lot of drama going on in Chicago in this offseason. I'm going to take Minnesota to win. I think Chicago's going to slide out the picture here. Moving on, we got New England going to Miami. This could be a trap game. You instantly want to say Miami Dolphins are going to win this game. But Bill Belichick has an extremely good record versus rookie quarterbacks. But I'm going to take Miami to win because Miami has Brian Flores, who knows what Bill Belichick's going to do to his rookie quarterback. He can go ahead and tell him, hey, this, and this is going to happen. This is what Bill Belichick is going to do to you. So be prepared for it. I think Tua comes out prepared. He doesn't make that many mistakes. He's pretty good at keeping his composure in games like this. I think that Miami defense shuts this New England offense down. As New England's offense is super one-dimensional, Miami shouldn't have any problems stopping the New England offense. Give me Miami. I think it's going to be a little closer than most would expect, considering the quality of player from these two teams, especially last week. But give me Miami in a tight one over New England's divisional matchup. This is kind of turning of the tide here. The Bills and the Dolphins taking this division for a few years. Moving on, we got Jacksonville traveling to Baltimore. Baltimore needs the win. Baltimore's a way better team. Baltimore has a way better player at almost every position across the board. Give me Baltimore, but I hope they put Gardner Minshew in for Jacksonville just because this guy deserves to finish his career out. And I don't mean finish his career. He's going to be a backup, but finish his starting job out for the rest of the season as Jacksonville looks to draft a quarterback or pick someone up in the offseason. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta to play the Atlanta Falcons, and this could be another trap game this week. Atlanta Falcons just lost to the Chargers, but by no means should have they lost to the Chargers a couple weeks ago, or actually last week. Starting the Chargers winning streak. Let's go, because the Chargers won on Thursday night over the Raiders when I picked against them. I picked against them against Atlanta. I picked against them against Las Vegas, and they won both games. So I'm picking against them the rest of the season to see if this is a thing that's going to happen and going into next season. Anyways, Tampa's the better team. They should win this game. I'm not sure if Julio's coming back again. This is my first time just glancing at the game. If Julio's coming back, I might seriously consider switching this pick to Tampa tomorrow morning, or switching this pick to Atlanta tomorrow morning if we see Julio's playing. But for now, I'm going to stick with Tampa Bay. They're the better team, especially without Julio Jones, depending on if he's playing or not. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans, and this is another one where it's just the Titans are just a better team, man. And Detroit's going to play them tough. They're going to give them a run for their money, but I think Tennessee bounces back after losing to Cleveland a couple weeks ago, like they did, like we saw last week. I think Tennessee takes care of business against the Lions. Next up, we have the Houston Texans traveling to Indianapolis to play the Indianapolis Colts, and the Houston Texans a couple weeks ago had a serious chance of upsetting the Colts, and then the center snapped the ball off of his leg. I need to take some upsets to come back in this competition. I forgot to mention that I'm playing against two other opponents, and we are behind in the standings by quite a bit right now with only a couple weeks left. So I'm going to take Houston to upset Indy in Indianapolis just for that fact that I think this is one of the upsets that could happen this week. That sincerely could happen this week. A lot like that Atlanta-Tampa Bay game. I'm going to be thinking similar things for this Houston-Indianapolis game. This could be a trap game. I'm taking Tampa to beat Atlanta, but I'm taking Houston to beat Indy in an upset, in a big upset, actually. Then we got Philly traveling to Arizona to play the Arizona Cardinals. Did Philly find their mojo? I don't know. I mean, I think this Philly defense is really going to struggle to contain Kyler Murray in this game just because they've struggled with mobile quarterbacks all year. I'm going to take Arizona to win the game. I'm going to take Arizona to win the game pretty handedly, too, killing this Jalen Hurts hype right where it stands, and now we're in another controversy. Next up, we got the New York Jets heading to L.A. L.A. needs to win this game. They're in a tight race with Seattle to try and win that division, especially if I got Seattle winning Washington. But the LA Rams in the locker room and Sean McVay have to be telling everyone that Seattle is going to drop this game to Washington, and LA Rams have a chance to really take control of this division with a couple weeks left in the season. New York wants to lose. New York's tanking for Trevor. Jacksonville's trying to sneak into that picture, and how crazy would it be if the Jets flubbed their tank job and Jacksonville snuck in and got Trevor Lawrence? I think that the Rams take care of business here against the Jets, and they do it handedly. But in these next couple of games, look to see New York and Jacksonville battling for Trevor Lawrence as far as in the losing column. Then the next game is Kansas City over New Orleans. I took Kansas City to beat New Orleans. I just went over a full breakdown, so you can go check that out if you rewind in the video. And then moving on, we have the Cleveland Browns going to New York to play New York Giants. Cleveland Browns are red hot. I know they lost to that Ravens team, but the Ravens team had to pull out every trick in the book. Every stop had to be pulled out to win that game. I'm taking the Browns to keep rolling and improve to 10-4. I think the Browns sincerely could finish 12-4 or 11-5. Then we got Pittsburgh going to Cincinnati. This is a good bounce back game for the Steelers. Steelers win this one. They're better across the board at almost every spot. This is a good bounce back game for them. I don't think Cincinnati's going to win another game this year, and it's going to be good for Joe Burrow because they're probably going to get the best available offensive lineman in the draft next year, as the two quarterbacks are going to go first and second. And then you got LAC and Las Vegas, and I took the Raiders and the Chargers won, so we're going to keep that going into next week and see if I can pick against the Chargers and get them another win. So that's the quick picks for this week. Thank you for tuning in to this show, man. That's going to close it out. Just doing to do this every weekend for the rest of the NFL season and into the playoffs. We'll predict every game and see how we do in this competition. And like I said, we're competing with a couple other guys. We have slid back, but there's still a very tight race for second place, and I'm cool with getting second place. The highest seed that I can get, I will try and get in this competition. I came up with the pick'em idea, so I got to finish at least second, right? Anyways, that's all. If you could just stop for 1 second, please, guys. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment, your predictions for the NFL this week, and let me know what you think of the video. We're trying to cater it to the viewers' pleasure. I know the subscriber count is down. I know the view count's going to be down, but we're just getting started. This is the birth of Mike on the Mic on YouTube, and you're witnessing it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
I gave you fair warning. Beware.
They better get ready. Yo, it's Phil Flames. I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster. Mike on the mic with sports talk that matters. Reppin' for the West, see the palms in the logo. Mike on the mic, sports pod, let's go.
I gave you fair warning. Beware.